Hi guys. How we all doing? I hope we are doing our best to live healthy, to do the right things, and all of that. So, this is the second part of my sugar series. Yay! So today, what I'll be talking about is why natural sugars. And when I say natural sugars, I mean the sugars that we have in fruits, honey that we have in natural sweeteners. How it is different from the white sugar that you use to buy. I don't want to be calling brands. They're not the same thing. And I'll explain to you why. There's something called patent. P-A-T-E-N-T. Is where somebody discovers something and quickly gets it registered and has his or her name stamped in the book of history as being the person that discovered that thing. And I think you get some certain amounts of money for any person that uses it, or any person that has to use whether your formula that you discovered or your recipe or whatever it is. Google it. P-A-T-E-N-T. It's called patenting. Now, the interesting thing with patenting things is the fact that you cannot patent nature. Yes, you heard me right. You can't patent nature. So that means that if something is already naturally occurring, nobody can come and claim that they are the one that made it, because, my dear, you are not God, right? So you can't come and claim that you made it because it's found in nature. That explains to you why there's a difference between natural occurring sugar and refined cane sugar. See, now that takes me back to that track that I dropped that day. At the center of it all, it's always money. Gay. That is why sugar was made from original sugar cane juice, the jaggery I talked about in my last video. But what they did is that it was bleached and refined. You see, anytime you hear the word refined, please carry your my slippers is not here. Let's assume this is my slippers. Carry your slippers like this. See, just it and do like this and run away. Once you hear the word refined, that is what it means. It means whatever it is that was refined has been stripped down. Something has been taken away from it. And most of the time, it involves the process of bleaching. And if you all know, once you hear the word bleaching, what does your mind go back to? Our skin. When people say, oh, they are not toning, they are bleaching, what happens? They're actually taking away useful layers of your skin. It's the same thing with food that is refined. So they took that jaggery that is full of nutrients, that is full of vitamins and minerals, and kept refining it. In other words, stripping it down. And then they finally bleached it for it to go from brown to white. And that's why you now have refined cane sugar. It's a play on words. Refined cane sugar. And that is why natural occurring sugar is not and will never be the same as refined cane sugar. You see, from naturally occurring sugar to refined cane sugar, you see this space, a whole lot has been done, and that has resulted in the end product not being healthy for you. I'm just going to say three reasons why refined cane sugar is not the same as not the same as naturally occurring sugar, and why it's not good for your health. The first thing is this. You see, for the body to process sugar, as it were, which is why people now tell you that the body does not know the difference between naturally occurring sugar and refined cane sugar. This is because for the body to process sugar, as it were, it needs two essential minerals. It needs calcium and it needs phosphorus. Now, when you think calcium, where is it normally stored in the body? The first part that comes to your mind, first part of the body that comes to your mind will be the teeth and the bones. That's where you have calcium stored up, because the teeth and bone is made up of calcium compounds. So you have calcium in your body, right? And that's why when you have excess, you now hear things like, oh, soft tissue is becoming calcified, which is what happens in the case of tuberculosis. But we are not going in there. Now, the body needs calcium and phosphorus to process sugar, for the liver to break down sugar into glucose that the body now uses up as fuel. Now let me shock you. You see, all this naturally occurring sugar, they are what I like to call full package, full option. Everything comes with it. It comes with everything. Let me paint a picture for you. Take for example now, I'm coming to greet you in your house. Yes, you that are listening to me, I'm coming to greet you in your house. I not pack pants. I not pack bra. I not even come with clothes. I not even wear clothes when I'm coming. I just knock on your door. I'm in front of your house, come and open the gate. And you now open the gate for me, and I just bombard myself in. You are the one that will look for what? Pants for me to wear. You are the one that will look for bra for me to wear. You are the one that will look for clothes for me to wear. I will put I will burdening you. I'm coming to visit you. It's supposed to emotionally help you. How it's social, you are creating bonds and everything. But at the end of the day, I'm putting more burden on you. And because I force myself in, you cannot lock the door on me. That's what refined sugar does. Now imagine somebody like your grandmother and your mother coming to greet you for the village. Usually what those women usually do, they come with food. They come with their clothes. In fact, in some cases, some of these women will bring their house help, their nannies or househelp that are staying with them, so that they will not come and do what? They will not come and burden you. That is the difference between naturally occurring sugar and refined cane sugar. Naturally occurring sugar comes with everything. It's full package. It's coming with everything that it needs for it to be processed. Because God in His infinite wisdom knows that your body cannot work without those essential minerals. So He puts all of them together in a delicate balance. All worked, all neatly fused together. So you have the whole package. But you see refined cane sugar, at least 42. I will go back and confirm. But at least 42 minerals and nutrients were stripped, including calcium and phosphorus. What you have is empty. So what then happens is, you take the refined cane sugar, your body now starts thinking, oh, we need calcium, we need phosphorus, we need calcium, we need phosphorus. Where does it go to? It goes to the teeth and pulls calcium from there. It goes to the bones and it pulls calcium from there. And that's why you end up, if you remember in those days, they'll tell you, get sugar, you have cavity, your teeth will spoil. Most often times, people that do a lot of candy, that do a lot of chewing gum, that do a lot of sweets, end up with holes in their teeth. That's why it happens. That's point number one. Point number two. For every 23 grams of sugar that you take, as I'm talking, I'm already getting more things that I need to share with you. Because the fact, you know when you're saying something, when you see it, it's different. For every 23 grams of sugar that you take, the immune system, that's a part of the body that fights off diseases, is suppressed for 5 hours. My dear, oh deep. The immune system is suppressed for 5 whole hours for every 23 grams of sugar that you take. Now let me paint a picture for you. You wake up in the morning, you take your beverage that already has sugar. You had powdered milk, it already has sugar. You now add cane sugar in its full force. That's already more than 23 grams. Oh. I hope you realize that. So let's even say you do 23 grams. That's 5 hours. Less than 2-3 hours later, mommy, I'm hungry, or I'm hungry, I need to munch on something. You carry biscuits. That's another 23 grams. How many hours going is that? 10 hours. In the afternoon, you're in town. You don't know what you want to eat. Let me just snack on shawarma. Or let me just quickly buy a quick salad from somewhere. I hope you know they started using Sprite and Schweppes, what it is, and adding sugar to salad cream outside. You add that to it. That's another 10 hours. That's another 5 hours. That's already 15 hours out of 24 hours every day that the immune system is suppressed. No wonder if you keep on feeding on sugar, today is cold, tomorrow is kata, the day after tomorrow is something. You can't. If it's not eczema, it's something. If it's not dandruff, it's something. That is the reason why. Now, the third reason is that sugar causes inflammation. And I know we've heard inflammation. We've heard it every time. Oh, I know inflammation. What? You've heard it so much that some of us have not even really taken our time to really ask ourselves, what exactly is inflammation? I'll explain to you what inflammation is. I don't know how many of you have had boil before. Now, you know with boil, when you have a boil, it's usually swollen. It's usually red, usually painful to touch, and you lose function around that place. You cannot use that part of your body that has that boil, and it has increased blood flow, so it throbs. You feel like it's pulsating. Those are the 5 cardinal points of inflammation. Pain, is swollen, you have redness, increased blood flow, and loss of function. Those are the 5 cardinal points of inflammation. Now take a boil, reduce the size. No, don't reduce the size. Reduce the magnification. Now scatter it all over your body. That is what inflammation is. Now imagine having that on the inside of you, in places that you cannot even imagine. That is what sugar does to the body. It causes generalized inflammation. So your body is in a constant state of pain that cannot be transmitted to you on the outside as whatever you can think of. It might make you restless. You might be having incessant headaches. You will keep having diseases that you cannot place where it's coming from. You have gut issues because you have generalized inflammation. So now tell me, how can naturally occurring sugar ever be the same as refined cane sugar, when we have already established that, number one, you cannot patent nature? So for them to have made or designed or manufactured refined cane sugar, they have to have altered nature. And at the center of it all is always money. I think I'll stop here because I don't want any of these videos to be too long so that you can actually understand what I'm saying. I'll come back next time. The next video would be different names for sugar and how to recognize them when you read them in your ingredient list, and even how to read your ingredient list. So I hope we all have a restful evening, have a productive morning, depending on what time of the day you watch this, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.